we're starting on our feet here in the final of the middleweight division. Let's see how these athletes go about it. We have Jaime Canuto and
Hugo Marques.
Marques.
Jaime with the guard pull there immediately. Been watching Hugo.
Hugo Marques has had an impressive run to the final. Didn't he get through Michael Perez? Also got through Victor Silverio. Am I right?
That is correct. From memory, I've seen so many good fights the last couple of days. I can't even keep up, man. There's so many good fights. Lots of big names here. It's looking more and more like the GI World Championship.
The official signaling getting back in the center of the mat and staying away from that boundary, which, you know, talk about the subject, you know, it being subject to the officiating, the boundary line. How do you feel about that?
I'm sorry, it's about what?
How do you feel about the boundaries and how it not being a real definitive point where you can stop it or hold a position and get out? It really is subject to the officials.
The scramble goes out of bounds?
Yeah.
Well, it goes, there's a lot of gray area. I think that what the referee ought to be doing is looking for situations where, first said they were like near the edge of the match now. This is a stable position, right? Drag them to the center earlier. I think sometimes the refs wait a little too long, but there's no way out of it. You can't.
As an athlete, you don't know when or if the official is going to stop it, or even where.
Yeah, well, you have.
If you look at some of these other sports with more finality, like football, basketball, tennis, there's a definitive boundary line, and they manipulate the boundaries to the best of their abilities. In football, they have a toenail in. That's a touchdown.
Yeah, it's
and
not.
They look on the replays and they see that did the foot swath the blade of grass?
It's complex, man. There's a lot of gray area. You can't always replicate the scenario when you bring it back to the center.
I just think when people are forced to compete in the confine and they know what those confines are, you'll see a little bit more creativity in whatever it is that you're watching. You know, with this, everyone's kind of really not sure of the boundary, and I would like to see that improved on top of the takedown, but right now it's not really anything up for discussion when you have one guy on top, one guy on bottom here in Canuto and Marques, and a minute and a half has already been elapsed. We have both officials on the corner standing up to signal a luch, and this looks to be.
Say that again.
A luch. A luch. Is that pronounced correctly?
No, it's exactly how you pronounce it in English. I'm not just messing with you.
Oh, okay.
But no, it
Stalling. Luch is Portuguese for stalling.
No,
and they only gave it to one athlete. They only gave it to Marques.
Well, I'm with the ref on that one. Hugo Marques has done this in other of his fights. Luch actually means fight, but yeah, then there's a different context as combate, which also means fight, but they use it in different ways, but they both mean fight.
Saying luch indicates that there's a lack of a fight, maybe.
Yeah, well, he's telling you to fight. It means luch, you mean fight. You know, like do something. Or we couldn't, translate it. It wouldn't translate this way, but it means kind of engage too, like do something. It's
for our other viewers, we do have on mat 9, Eduardo Teles taking the mat
against Fabio Leopoldo. Both of these guys, they've known each other forever, very experienced competitors.
Marques is standing up now and giving Jaime a hug.
Yeah, well, Hugo really needs to do something about. He's losing this fight. It looks like to me like he's still not trying to engage. He needs to let go of that lower back. And
this is why they call it the gentle art. Everyone giving each other hugs here.
Yeah, well, what Jaime's trying to do is like maybe reach for that neck and attempt a guillotine there. He's having a hard time getting there. Hugo's just holding. Like I don't see what his purpose.
Do you think that Hugo should shift to the legs? I think he would be better off if he slid his right hand down just shy of the hip and right over the knee, and he could collapse those legs together. But Jaime's got a nice body locked together. He might try to turn it into a guillotine.
Well, if I were Hugo, what I would probably be trying to do is I would just be letting go and opening that posturing. Standard posture, open the guard, and he's got just over 6 minutes here to do something. He is down by a negative, and as I see it, it looks like he's about to get another negative. He's done like some of his other fights. He's getting close to being penalized as well, and he was like treading that line right there of just about to be penalized and managing to get away with it. But yeah, he needs to do something. He's definitely has not been the most active Hugo we have seen.
Here we are now, both. Nice little heavy count. Tried to do a guard pull by Jaime. That was. Let's see if he gets the fruits of his labor there. He's gonna turn it into an omoplata.
You see him with
You think that was a bit aggressive?
No, the slap was unnecessary.
Was it aggressive for jiu-jitsu, or was it?
I mean, the question is, what's the point? Like, what are you trying to accomplish here? If you're not trying to accomplish anything, you're just trying to provoke your opponent. We saw that at Cyborg and Gordon Ryan. It is unnecessary.
Is it, though? Because if the guy kind of extends out of that collar tie, then that leaves him space to get an entry.
Do you have to hit him, though? Like, that's the question.
Shake him up, moving around. Get him, hey, wake up a little bit here. Let's make this exciting.
I don't know. I think that, yeah, it comes down to, is there a technical purpose to what you're doing? That is the question. If there's a technical purpose, then absolutely. If there isn't, then what's going on? Hugo here is definitely. I mean, I don't understand. Trying to figure out what his strategy is. He seems to be very hesitant to engage with Canuto in his guard. He's got 5 minutes to work. This is the final of the men's middleweight black belt NoGi World Championships 2018. And so far, it's been an amazing tournament.
Hugo has a penalty here that he's been working against him.
Hugo has got to get in there. I think he's hesitating too much to get in there. You're seeing a lot of guys backing out from guard more and more. They just want to get tangled up in guard, and they're having a hard time. You see this a lot with Gordon and Cyborg. That was happening. Cyborg is having a really hard time finding his way.
Hugo getting a little bit aggressive now here. And nice. Well, just under the halfway mark here.
Yeah, so far this match belongs to Jaime Canuto.
It'd be unfortunate, I think, to see the result of this match be a negative. Like, I would much rather see some points on here. Let's work to get. Oh, we have a stop here. Canuto is checking out his eye. He might have to signal the mat aid.
The
get a little poke in there.
Paramedic.
I love Marques Hugo's his go get him out of.
Yeah, I think there's a game plan behind what's going on here. Like, you see, listen to his coach. I think that they
Can we see what happened in there? In that, you get a little eye poke. Oh,
right in the eye there. Yeah, I don't think Jaime was faking that. That really hit in the eye. And just give him a second there. He'll be fine.
We are back. Jaime here in the final of the middleweight division of the black belt. Jaime up by a negative. And Hugo really getting aggressive with this guard passing now. He might force Jaime to turtle.
Yeah,
Can he do that? He's being real aggressive. This is playing the boundaries, bringing it back to the center. Hugo running back to the center of the mat. I love the intensity by Hugo here. He's really, really forcing the action. And what otherwise would be somebody to kind of sit on their heels or sit on their butt, no pun intended, and not engage. But yeah, Hugo's really going after it. I love this tenacity.
Yeah, Hugo's been unable to find somewhere where he can get close to passing Jaime's guard. I agree with you on the intensity. I think that's definitely necessary. But I feel on the technical level, he hasn't been able to find a game where he can actually, see, like stepping in there gives Jaime Canuto exactly the sort
what he wanted.
Exactly, like he wants you to step in, like he's been looking for it his whole fight. And he could be sweeping here with that calf slicer. Man, that's not, Jaime's got to roll underneath. If you can finish that, I'm going to call that an advantage. I'm not sure what the ref's going to call it. Maybe nothing.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing I was telling you about.
Nothing.
That boundary is so you don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. Even as an athlete, you look up, you're like, all right, well, what's going to happen here?
Yeah, you're not clear. There's a lot of gray area there. But again, they're moving as it's happening. It starts in the blue, it finishes in blue on the other side.
But that'll completely change the pace of the match. There's
no,
3 minutes left.
It does. Like, people get helped and they get harmed by this the size of the match all the time.
Hugo, we might bring it in bounds. Just keep him in bounds.
And
that was a very interesting. See, this is another thing. They both played the boundary here. Let's take a look and see what happens. Does Hugo get the advantage?
Well, Hugo is
no advantage given.
Yeah, I was expecting an advantage there.
No advantage given. Not even stopped and drugged back to the center of the mat.
But this is something that, I mean, it favors Hugo, in fact. If I were Jaime, I'd probably go back to my guard and,
Well, now you see
it's like he wasn't having a lot of success attacking from guard. But I think that I feel like Hugo has an advantage with the stand-up here.
You see the gas tank sort of wind down for Hugo a little bit. He might even elect to pull.
Yeah, Jaime's better off pulling there just because he's winning this fight. Right. I wonder if he is going to pull once he engages. You can see his back's against the line. And what he's doing by that is trying to prevent Hugo from taking that shot, because if he does, they go out of bounds.
Oh.
Well, Jaime's going to have to
You got to appreciate this tenacity that's coming from Hugo, really going after the takedown. This is something you don't see often.
Well, he knows he's behind. He's got to do something. He's got 2 minutes left. He's being aggressive, but not quite aggressive enough, in my opinion, given, how deep into the match they are. Yeah, it looks like he got eye poked again.
Yeah, but is Jaime really winning, or is it just to the disadvantage of Hugo? Like, Jaime hasn't put an offensive sequence together himself.
True, but like the burden is always on the person who is behind, right? Like that seems to be to set the tone of the fight. Jaime, I think for this, his other eye got poked this time. You got a replay here in a second. And the reach. Yeah, I couldn't quite see. Yeah, it was too fast. Couldn't quite see, but with just under 2 minutes left, Hugo Marques down by 1 advantage, and now Hugo pulls guard.
Yeah, I kind of anticipated that. That was what you were saying. Jaime should have pulled a little bit earlier. He was ahead on this fight.
And yeah, Hugo really pulling himself under. Like, Hugo has to try something different. Like, the wrestling wasn't working, the top game wasn't working, so he decided to try something else.
Is he going to get the advantage? He might try to bring it in, keep it in bounds.
He's got to drag him in, and at this point you can see
he's doing a great job at it. He's already secured the advantage. Hugo might get it done here with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. And isn't Jaime a black belt in judo?
I'm not sure about that, but he did get the advantage. So this put Hugo Marques ahead of the fight with just over 1 minute left. Now pressure's on Jaime Canuto to do something.
That was a clear advantage, and the hard work paid off. And what a guard pull by Jaime. Look at that.
That's one of those things. If that were with the gi, I could see him maybe climbing that armbar, but it's so hard to get that armbar without the gi.
The final 2 minutes of the black belt matches are my favorite.
It certainly gets exciting because people their mindset is to leave it on the mats.
Now we see for the first time in this match, Hugo up by an advantage and Jaime forced to put some sort of offense together that he hasn't over the entire 9 minutes in the match. And wow, he's on a front headlock. Can he hold it? That was a great defense. He's holding it.
Bad time.
He's holding it.
Though.
It's a tight guillotine.
That's bad.
That should be 2 points.
That should be 2 points. It might be 2 for the guillotine too, though. Like
no, that's what I'm saying. It's 2 points for Hugo.
But Jaime was attacking.
Yeah, that was great.
Jaime was attacking the takedown, though.
No, he wasn't. He was on the front headlock. Yeah, Hugo was on the front headlock and then switched to the guillotine in perfect precision time. And now he's
followed from a shot. Like, I could have gone. I wouldn't have jumped on that guillotine. I felt that was a risky, but
it was
good
great
thing it worked out for Hugo. Yeah, Jaime
really going after it now for those fine submissions is Jaime Canuto. Let's see him digging his head in there, trying to get the shot. He's really pressing the action now. Final 10 seconds. Right now, it's all Hugo Marques.
Yeah, Hugo needs to stay clear there.
He can afford a stall
call, be careful.
too.
Yeah.
Wow, what a 2 points here to set it off.
2 points, Hugo. This match
really
is over.
Secure the victory. Hugo Marques, for the first time in his career, black belt middleweight champion, IBJJF NoGi. That was a great match.
It was, and Hugo's always been the kind of guy that's been up there. He's always been, close. But everyone who's been following his career, everyone who knows him knows that his level has always been there. And he just got his black belt, and we have another newcomer, another new member of the new generation, winning a world title here at the NoGi Worlds. Great performance by Hugo and Jaime Canuto, both of them. Great wins.
I got to make a comment about yours and our friend Braulio Estima's commentary, the nudge. He always does the nudge. He's like, hey.
What, dude.
No
one saw. You're the only one creeping on me and Braulio, bro.
It's great. It's interesting. You do it well. You guys have a good dynamic.
Oh,
How's he been? I miss him.
Every now and then, man. Like And we got highlight coming up now. We have, I think it's the beginning of the match.
That was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, Hugo just.
Oh no, I'm sorry. This was earlier.
Yeah, it was earlier. He was holding a little bit too much. It's funny how the dynamic changed throughout the fight. At one point, you saw Hugo really being hesitant to move forward, and Jaime engaging, and then it changed. And it changed again at the end.
You saw that intensity really pay off.
Yeah, it's always like whoever's winning turns out to be the one. It's like, buying time, not in a rush, which makes
I treat matches.
sense.
Are you a poker player at all?
Yeah,
I treat matches like it's a game of poker. Sometimes you deal with the cards like right there. Jaime's cards were only up by a negative on the other guys. That's not a very strong hand. He's got to do a little bit more to secure that victory.